Hey everybody, it's Ron from Ron's Basement. Thank you for joining me today. So, I don't know about you, but I'm a little confused. Every time I hear the concept or the idea of universal health care, uh, government provided health care brought up in the United States, I immediately hear people say, oh, that's socialism, and that's what Bernie Sanders wants, and he's a socialist, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm confused about two things regarding that specific issue of universal health care. First, of all the first world countries in the world, all the major countries, Germany, the European countries, uh, they all have universal health care. And they all have healthcare systems that, in terms of quality, are rated much higher than the United States. And they all spend per citizen much less for that healthcare. So, what confuses me is why the average American, when the concept or the idea of universal healthcare comes up, is just immediately reacts with, oh, that's socialism, that's bad. I'd rather spend $25,000 a year to help some pharmaceutical company or hospital chain or insurance company acquire a bunch of wealth. I don't want socialism. I don't want a system that gives me better health care for less cost. Hello? I'm confused. It doesn't make sense. And on the general idea of socialism and it being so bad, I have this question. Yes, I guess universal health care is a system where everybody contributes through their taxes into the healthcare system, and then when you need health care, you get to go to the doctor. Not for free, you've contributed through your taxes, so you're paying for it, but everybody is pooling their money together and getting health care when they need it. Kind of like this. This is what I'm confused about. These same people who are so opposed to socialism, let me ask you this question. I made a list. Things like libraries, are those socialist? Everybody pays taxes. When you need to use the library or you want to use the library, you go to the library. Should we get rid of libraries? What about the police and fire department? We all contribute. They're there when we need them. Should we get rid of the police and fire departments? What about the zoo? I live in St. Louis. We have a great zoo. It's free. Those socialist zebras and socialist tigers that are there, we need to start charging. And when you hear people talk about charging to go to the zoo in St. Louis, they freak out and like, oh, no, the zoo's free, blah, 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 blah. Here's a great one. Public schools. If you are opposed to socialism, by no means should you be sending your children to public schools. I mean, that's like a major socialist institution, right? Everybody pays property taxes and it gets some funding from the federal government. And when you have children that are of school age, kind of like under universal health care, when you need health care, you get to send your kids to the public schools for free. Socialist. Public roads. I mean, I understand toll roads. Those are capitalist and those are good. But any public road, I mean, should we get rid of those? Should we put a toll booth at the end of your driveway so that when you go to drive on your street? No, of course not. Certain things make sense that we all kind of pool our resources and share, just like we teach little kids. It's good to work together and share, not let pharmaceutical and medical device manufacturers and health insurance companies and hospital chains get rich off of a basic need that we all have, which is health care. One final thought for you anti-socialists. When you become of age and you are eligible for Social Security, or should I call Social Security socialism security, you better not cash your checks. That's one of the purest forms of socialism right there. Not to mention, you better not take that Medicare insurance, right? That nasty government-provided health care insurance. you need to spend about $45,000 a year to get insurance as a 65-year-old American. Get your own private insurance. So anyway, thanks for listening. I just kind of laugh sometimes at the average American, that they don't like think about things. They get fed a line. Usually that line is being fed to them by people who have an economic interest in things remaining the same, and they just spout it out. So I hope I gave you some things to think about. And by no means do I think I have all the answers or that I'm always right. But I do think that sometimes we benefit from taking a step back and kind of looking at the bigger picture. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.